Good morning. It's Saturday, and I've got a whole 14-foot flatbed trailer full of junk, refuse, and we're going to the dump. I've got 9 nasty, rotten pallets all stacked up in the front of the trailer with a strap over them, and then, so that takes up the first, say, 3.5 feet or so, 4 feet at the most. And the other 10 feet is full of brush and old rotten firewood that was no good, and mulch, bark, leaves, all kinds of organic waste. And I'm going to have to take that out with a shovel, I guess. I've got a shovel, I have a big garden rake, I've got a nice dung fork I'll use on some of it, I suppose. I've got a broom, the older of my 4 corn brooms. We have one in the workshop that I bought down in Pennsylvania years ago from the Amish down there. I love that broom. It's my workshop broom. Got one down cellar and one in the back hall of the house that I bought at the local hardware store that Rubbermaid. They're the best I could find, but I'm not super impressed with those. And I'm sure you care. Oh, we've got a funeral going on today, I guess. The street across the way here is full of cars where the funeral home is. Don't know anything about that, but apparently nobody I know. Here we go. On our way up Pleasant Street. Anyway, what else is going on? I'm really enjoying my base station radio. I got to chat with a man up Bangor way today on the Eddington GMRS repeater, Mick. I forget his call sign now. WRXP 770. Mick. So, anyway, the radio's pretty active this morning. A lot of people from up that Bangor way, up that way, talking on our network. We have a new Dixmont. I say new. The Dixmont repeater, which is sort of down toward the coast from Bangor. Has been added to the linked system. So now we have 12 repeaters on the linked system. We had a check-in Thursday night that ran for about an hour, but the first 20 minutes, our repeater, the Spruce Mountain repeater in Woodstock, which is western Maine, was offline. It was working, but it wasn't connected to the network, to the linked. The link was broken, so whoever owns that one had to reboot it, so to speak, remotely and get it back on the link. So for the first 20 minutes, we weren't able to hear any of the check-ins. I wasn't able to hear, or any of us listening to Spruce. So they finally got that on about 20 minutes after 7, and a bunch of the repeaters had already been gone through as far as check-ins. They name a repeater, and anybody that's using that repeater can call in with their call sign and what the weather report is or whatever they're looking for the night's question. What's the temperature in your area? But we finally got on at 20 after 7 and I listened to it the rest of the way till 8 o'clock or so, a little after 8. So that's kind of a cool exercise. They do it the first Thursday of every month. And I think it's Christopher Perkins that runs that typically. He does a good job. I'm not sure where he might be out of the gray repeater. I'm not sure. Anyway, and I couldn't hit the gray. I'm probably geographically closer to Gray than I am to Woodstock. But the terrain prohibits me from talking on the Gray repeater or listening to the Gray. There's a good ham repeater down that way, down in Falmouth, which is down in that same neighborhood. And I can't get that unless I'm up here on the hills in Mechanic Falls. I could listen on my ham radio. There's a lot of interesting And I would have to say conservative. In fact, probably most radio people are conservative. It's not something that... Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Have a good day, folks.